Hey guys, and welcome to day 115 of my Verse of the Day series. Today's verse of the day will be Hebrews chapter 4, verse 9. It says, "So then, there remains a Sabbath rest for the people of God." And what I get from this verse is even God rested. God worked 6 days, God rested on the seventh. That calls us, even as humans, we have the example set by God that if God rested, that's the example he set for us in our life. There's a time to work and a time to rest, a time to build and a time to break down. God shows this in his example that he sets all the way back in Genesis at the very start. He sets the example of God worked 6 days and rested on the seventh. When we go through our lives, we have to find a balance of work and rest. It's not too much work, it's not too much rest. You're not always building up for others and not taking care of yourself, and you're not always taking care of yourself without building up for others. There's a balance of life, and that's the balance that God shows. God shows that we have to have a balance of our lives in order to be the most like him. God sets that example for the reason of understanding our place in our own lives, understanding our place in his life. God is not trying to overwork us. God is not trying to prevent us from growing by putting us in a situation where we aren't doing anything. God is trying to teach us a balance in our lives. God may hand us a lot of things, but he's also trying to teach you, hey, you need to learn how to work with these things, how to find rest in trialless times. God is trying to show you, hey, in your time where you may not be working, here is what you need to do in order to find ways to fulfill yourself, to fulfill your duty to work and also fulfill your duty to rest. God is only calling us to live more like him, and living more like him involves finding balance in our lives, finding balance for us, because balance in the soul allows us to uplift God the most. When we're off balance, we tend to be more erratic, we tend to not be in the right state of mind, and we tend to not always be the most proper when it comes to not having a balance in our lives. And having a balance in your life, it also shows that you are trusting God with your life, and you understand that no matter what the situation is, having that balance shows that you have your faith in God, and that balance is allowing God to work in your life and work how he calls into your life. So as you go through your week, just kind of look at your life. Look at where you could fine-tune balance into your life. Hope you guys got something from today, and I'll see you in the next one.